there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It's another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Fellas, I'm getting a really mean echo. I'll be back in a second. Idris, Juliana.
Got him. Let's go. Welcome to the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your co-host, Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx. While Richie's taking care of stuff, we got Carson Wentz. He's back from a victory overseas. Mr. Ryan Shea.
That is probably the best intro that I've ever received on this show, and I am honored.
Good job, man. Good job, man. The show is really proud of you, man.
Man, I was getting some hate last week. I heard that the best backup in football was, what's his face? Dang it.
Hey,
the other ginger. Cooper Rush. And I was very hurt that you guys said Cooper Rush was better than myself. Playing in Cleveland, overseas, never dealt the Wentz, man. Throwing that down Madison. And I was feeling it.
Hey, that's great, man. But you know who you still got to catch up to my boy Indiana Jones, man.
Hey, he's got a backup. I'm a backup. There's the difference. I'll give you a quick little weather report here in upstate New York, as always. So we're looking at fall weather now, boys. It was 80 over the weekend. Now the leaves are falling. It's starting to get a little chilly. It's rainy today. We're right back into the mix for fall.
Yeah, same here. Our leaves are changing colors now. We're getting down to like 50s now. So fall's here for sure. So, Mr. Rich Hicks, are you back?
I think so. No echo. You boys hear me well?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know what, Idris? I just had a moment. You know when sometimes you hear your voice and it kind of does that repeat thing in your ears? I could understand why they were giving me shit over at Casual about that sports vlog thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. On tonight's show, it's our Week 6 NFL preview predictions, Part 1. Brett Bandick will be making his triumphant return tomorrow for Part 2. So I'm purposely not going to speak about the Dallas Cowboys or the New England Patriots. Because even if Zappy were not to show up tomorrow, Brett always needs to be heard about his wonderful feelings for the one they call Jerry Jones. Some childhood trauma just stays longer.
Poor guy.
Pause on that. That might have not sounded the way I meant it to. This is football related. Okay, thank you. Before we start with the football, gentlemen. Shed?
Yes, sir.
Can the Yankees do this?
Of course they can do this.
We can, but
they got Cam Schlittler on the mound tonight, boys. Pitched a gem earlier against Boston. I expect more of the same this evening. At least I hope so. And the Blue Jays, they got their bullpen going, boys. Their arms are going to be a little bit tired. The Yankees worked them pretty good last night. I like what I'm going to see tonight, boys. I think that they're going to pull it off here. Judge is hot. They don't need Stanton and Soto to bail them out like last year. They're looking good.
I agree. I think Toronto's bullpen, man. Oh man. We gotta stop giving us so many runs, dude. I mean, we're giving up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 runs. Last night we did a little bit better, but still they got a lot of runs on us, man. We shouldn't be giving
Yeah,
up
the
6.
bullpen saved our ass because, especially the ass of Carlos Rodon, because
6 runs.
all the
6 earned
damage
runs.
was done through 2.1 innings,
Correct.
Yeah.
and the Yankees bullpen basically pitched a shutout from the third inning on, which was pretty remarkable. But I must say, Cam Schlittler, I don't expect the kind of performance he had against Boston because that was like a generational kind of performance. But if he could be at least 60% of what he was that night, I like our chances to move on to Game 5, where basically anything can happen. But the Yankee ERA right now for the starters in this particular series is over 18, which is scary. If there is something to feel good about, we saw that Luis Gil didn't have his best performance in Game 1. It's not ideal to start him in a Game 1. But you would have to think that with the short outing for Rodon, he might have some bullets for Game 5 out of the pen if he's needed. So in that regard, I think that it could be something beneficial. But the bottom line is, whoever is wearing that pinstripe uniform or in Game 5, the gray uniform, they have to pitch better, period. End of sentence. It's exciting to see Jazz getting going yesterday after his bad slump.
Yeah.
Survive in advance, fellas. Survive in advance. Let's go.
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Survive in advance.
Survive in advance for sure. We're going to start this up with the Turnpike rivalry. Philadelphia Eagles. Just kidding. They're not 1-4. They should be, though. The Philadelphia Eagles at 4-1 are traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on my New York Giants, Idris's New York Giants. Both teams are coming off losses last week. How will Giants rookie Jackson Dart respond to the ghost of New Orleans with the fumble? Cam Scatabo put one on the carpet that was taken to the house. Darius Slayton will not be active this week. I don't wish injury on anyone. However, a toxic Giant fan said, why couldn't that happen last week?
Right.
He will be inactive for Thursday.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yeah. Shades of hot hands from Little Giants.
Yeah.
As the Eagles go, still waiting for the signature Saquon Barkley gave, but have no fear, Eagles fans. This could be the week that it comes to fruition. I expect, this is his old house. I expect Saquon to get a healthy workload, predominantly in the backfield. He has not been a big option catching the football, and actually no one has been a big option catching the football for the Philadelphia Eagles, unless your name is Dallas Goedert and you're inside the 15-yard line. 4 out of 5, 80% winning percentage, that's good. But what's not good is it's getting to a point where teams are making adjustments. He played a great Denver Bronco defense, and they forced Jalen Hurts to have to beat him, and he wasn't able to. 5 consecutive drives, 0 points. And, Zappy, Idris, yourself, I have alluded to the fact that this team reminds me a little too much of the 2023 team. We all agree on this in a conversation here on the show and in our group chat. Shed, you're the 49er fan here. That 2023 team took a turn for the worse after you guys went into Philly, got Big Dom suspended, and beat their ass. Do you think that
100%.
there's some serious similarities here with this particular Eagle team and the one in between their Super Bowl appearances?
Oh, there's similarities for sure. But the only difference is their defense is younger and they actually have a good running back, which they did not have then. But they just like in 2023, they were like getting by the skin of their teeth, and they didn't have any impressive wins really, right? Then the Niners come into town and absolutely blow the freaking roof off. And everybody's like, whoa, the Niners are for real, 1. And 2, maybe Philly's not as good as we thought they were. And then boom, they kind of exploded a little bit, and they lost the first round of the playoffs that year. I mean, they were the best team in the NFL at that time based on record. And then all of a sudden, a good team shows up into their house and just throttles them, and the rest is history, right? So yes, it's very similar to that in that regard.
Idris
Yeah,
Salam. Sorry,
yeah,
buddy. I didn't mean to cross talk you.
yeah. I see similarities, man. Do I think we can win? I think we can win. We just can't make any. We can't make mistakes like that, man. We can't be turning the ball over like we did. Darius Slayton drops the ball. Cam fumble. 2 interceptions by Dart. I mean, the defense did good, but you can hold on, but for so long, you know. And with Philly, I still say they're like the 2023 team, man. They're not winning any. They're not doing anything spectacular. They're winning by the skin of their chinny chin chin. I think we can win. Do I think we will? Damn, I think Saquon breaks out this game, man. So I don't want to pick against them, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I like what I see with the featuring of Cam Scatterbo. The Giants played a bad Saints team, but the Giants managed to play worse than them. Self-inflicted wounds, we already alluded to all of that. I do like, however, the way that the Giants are slowly but surely grabbing an identity, and that is going back to their roots, being a run-first team, high-risk, low-efficiency passing, low-risk, high-efficiency passing, with Jackson Dart using his legs, extending plays. Now, of course, without Malik Neighbors, there are certain things that you just can't do in that offense like you used to. I personally thought that Brian Dable called a very creative game, but you still got to execute. The Eagles might not be as good as last year's team. They might be just like the 2023 team. But having said all that, it's still good enough to beat this Giants team. Give me the Eagles 24. Give me the New York Giants 17. Eagles with a 1-score victory. I do think the Giants will play hard, but like many other games this year, they just don't have enough. And when you're missing your best offensive weapon, you're going to see a lot of games like this. Jackson Dart will play better, though, than last week.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to go 24-17. I think we'll put up a good fight, but I think it'll be too much Saquon Barkley. And I think with Saquon Barkley getting his groove on, I think it'll open up the passing game.
Update for the fans. Toronto Blue Jays off to a quick lead. 1-0 in the Bronx. First and third. Cam Schlittler only 8 pitches in. Alejandro Kirk at the dish. That's strike 1. I'll keep you guys updated. Continue.
I'm not going to be as generous as the two of you as far as the score goes. I just think Philly's still that team, unfortunately, in the NFC East until proven otherwise. I just, especially with you, I mean, without Slayton, without Neighbors, you guys have a fierce pass rush, and that's probably going to hopefully bottle up Hurts a little bit. But again, with Saquon and that offensive line, they have that push. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles 31. Give me the New York Giants 17.
All right. Shed's adding another 7 to that. Idris, what's your final, boss?
Yeah, I'm going 24-17 Eagles.
All right. 1-score victory. Idris and I for the Eagles. Shed's going 2 scores. We're all in agreement that the Eagles will be improving to 5-1. Denver Broncos heading into East Rutherford to take just kidding. They're in England. The Jets look to pick up their first ever win in London. The Broncos look to avoid being flat. The Broncos just had a huge win in Philly. They're going overseas. This is the quintessential trap game. The Jets got to win a game sooner or later, and the Broncos want to make sure that they're not the reason why. I have no reason whatsoever to believe that the Jets could compete with this Bronco team. Even if the Broncos get off to a slow start offensively, I think they're going to make just a hell for that Jet offense, have to force way too many passes into less than desirable windows. And I think Denver's secondary, they're in the conversation for the best. I love what they're doing. I love, on the other side of the ball, the way that Sean Payton is using Dobbins as his main horse, but also making sure that he doesn't get overworked, because we saw what happened in the past in Baltimore as well as the Chargers. You know, he has a long injury history. RJ Harvey at a UCF, a very nice compliment for him. Broncos by a little too much. Give me 34 for the Broncos, 10 for the Jets, and that touchdown is going to be very late and probably against some Bronco backups.
Yeah, the Jets are just like, I don't know what's going on with them. Justin Fields, I thought he would really go in there and do something, but he's not doing anything, man. To be honest with you, Tyrod Taylor looks better than he does.
I tend to agree.
So, with that being said, I'm going to go Denver 31, Jets 17.
And
All right.
MetLife Stadium football just continues to just be that damn terrible. All right, Shed, what is your final on this? Are the Jets going to score more than 10 points?
So you're all on the Broncos, eh, boys?
Hey, I'm glad you said that, Shed. You know why? Because I picked the Milwaukee Brewers to get to the World Series this year at the beginning of the year. And you
After the first 3 games of the season, nobody in their right mind would have thought that the Brewers,
Including myself.
potentially be where they are.
I had the Brewers start to finish, baby.
We were getting on the Yankees about the bad pitching, and we're like, yeah, cool. It's the Brewers.
Start to finish. Brewers start to finish.
Yankees swept them to start the year.
Yes, they did.
Yankee Nestor Cortez took them deep 5 times.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Denver to dominate as well. That defense is ferocious, and that Jets offense, man. I mean, maybe you're going to see a lot of Breece Hall, and you're going to see some Garrett Wilson, but boys, they just don't have it. Give me the Denver Broncos 30. Give me the New York Jets 13. So yes, they do score more than 10.
All right, the Jets still on the donut. This is going to be a much more competitive game in my estimation. Seattle Seahawks making the long trip to Duval to take on the 4-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Combs' inaugural season as head coach is going smooth, and the Jaguars are among the NFL's biggest surprises. The Seahawks are in the mix in the NFC West and look to get back on track after a close defeat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One thing that could be favorable for Seattle, and I can't believe I'm saying this, they're not in front of the 12th man. This, in my memory, has been one of the worst periods for the Seattle Seahawks in front of the 12th man over the course of the last, say, 12, 13, 14 games, where they have not played well at home. However, the Seahawks have been a borderline playoff team or a playoff team over the course of the last few years. I really like Jackson Smith and Jigba in this game. Travis Hunter. I think that's a premier matchup and one that football fans are going to be excited to see how that plays out. I kind of like Seattle to attack Jacksonville with, test them out early. See if you could win the battle of the trenches, the battle of the wills. Seattle has 2 very good running backs in Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Jacksonville likes to use multiple backs, but ATN is their man. Who's more liable to make a mistake in this one is something I would like to ask the viewing audience. And in my genuine opinion, I think that person, unfortunately, is Trevor Lawrence. It would be so Jaguar-ish of them to have it at home. You're 4-1, you're feeling right, and lose a Duval. And for that reason alone, although it is a very tough trip for teams in that division, give me the NFC guys, the former AFC guys, the Seattle Seahawks with a close victory here. Seattle Seahawks 27, Jacksonville Jaguars 20. Touchdown victory. Sam Darnold is going to play very well. And Jackson Smith and Jigba will be hitting pay dirt once, as will Kenneth Walker. Give me the road team and give me Trevor Lawrence. 2 very frustrating turnovers.
Yeah, I'm going the same thing. I'm kind of surprised at Jacksonville because they don't do good at home, but they've been winning at home.
They're doing pretty good this year in general.
Yeah, but I'm looking for Trevor Lawrence to beat Trevor Lawrence and throw a few picks and give the game away. So with that being said, I think Walker and Charbonnet is going to do their thing. I think Njigba's going to do his thing. And I think Sam Darnold has proven that he's worth the money they paid him. Let's go Seattle 28. Jacksonville 19.
Oh,
Red Knight
okay.
win big. Okay.
I hate this, boys, but I thought you guys were going to pick Jacksonville. But I'm picking Seattle as well. I
No, I
like
didn't-
that dash
I
with
didn't-
Walker and Charbonnet. I like dude. That Seattle defense is better than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
Leonard Williams in the middle. You stupid Giants ended to trade that jerk to the freaking Seahawks. Have to play him twice a year, but no, he's a freaking force in the middle of that line. Jacksonville's defense, no joke. But I think they wear him down. I think they've gotten a little bit lucky with the turnovers this year.
Yeah. Monday
Um,
night's a great example.
they beat the Niners, but they had 4 turnovers in that game, and they barely beat the Niners by 5. They beat them by 5. So
Yeah.
you take away even one of those turnovers, the Niners win that game. You know what I mean? So I'm saying like they were a little bit lucky with some of those. I think that luck changes this weekend, and I like the Seahawks to go into Duval and take them down 27-23.
Duval.
Baltimore Ravens. Where you at, Chris Dixon?
Yeah.
They're only 1-4. Lamar Jackson still murky about if he will play. So I'll give you a hypothetical. If Lamar wins, they're still going to lose. And if Cooper Rush plays, they're going to get their ass handed to them. We spoke out of turn on thinking what the other ginger, as Mr. Shed said, could potentially do. I think Zappy was getting nostalgic with his Cooper Rush memories. I have no
How dare
nostalgia
you.
from his Giant days because it basically required holding a clipboard. The Ravens are bad, and it's not even because of this Lamar Jackson situation. I mean, that doesn't help. But going into last week, they were 32 of 32 in the National Football League in defense, and that is not a recipe for winning. Derrick Henry has had the fumble issues this year, and the LA Rams are coming into this game, I would imagine, a little pissed off because, in the words of the late, great Dennis Green, when it came to that 49er game, they let him off the hook. Refusal to take 3 in a very
They always thought they were. They
Damn
always
right.
thought they were. Let them
Yeah.
off the hook.
With a makeshift 49ers team, by the way. They had freaking
Mac
third,
Jones.
fourth stringers in there, man.
Mac Jones. Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
What a comeback
Mac
for him.
Jones. Let me tell you something, man. We've been seeing this trend in the NFL. We saw Sam Darnold sit in San Francisco, and it was a good tutelage for him. He gets an opportunity. Minnesota, now Seattle, playing good football. Daniel Jones. The cup of coffee he had with Kevin O'Connell paid dividends. He's doing his thing with the Colts right now. And
Look at
Mac Jones
Baker
right now.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield had to get kicked a few times in the face before he got back up. Oddly
Yeah.
enough, him and Sam Darnold were teammates. The 2 dudes that
Yeah.
went head-to-head last week with
Yeah, I know.
Carolina. This Rams team is a team that going into the season I picked to be one of the 2 teams in the NFC Championship game. Do I think they're better than their 3-2 record? It's hard for me to say because I think you're as good as what you do in the most critical moments. And unfortunately, for 2 consecutive weeks, the Rams have kind of shot themselves in the foot. Historically, Sean McVay has not had a very good track record against Kyle Shanahan. Even going back to their Super Bowl season, they won the Super Bowl, but they lost 2 out of 3 to that Niner team. Damn near lost all 3, and oddly enough, he's the backup now for Stafford, Jimmy G. But this Ravens team is hapless right now. I do not see things getting better. They're making it just too damn easy for Pittsburgh to win this division. And then you got the Bengals issues. Rams, they don't have to play a great game to win. I don't know if they're going to play a great game, but they are going to win. Give me the Rams 27. Give me the Baltimore Ravens 16. Kyron Williams hits pay dirt. And 4-2 for the Rams in a very competitive NFC West.
Yeah, if Lamar plays, I think it'll be a better game. If he doesn't play, I don't see it being close. So I'm going to make it brief. I'm going to go 31-17 Rams.
Yeah, guys, Lamar's trending towards not playing.
Yeah.
So that I'm just going to automatically assume he's not playing.
Yeah.
I don't think they risk it. There's really no point. I'm not saying their season's completely over because it's really not. There's a lot of football left to be played, but probably not a good idea with that ferocious Rams defense. They're 3rd right now in the league in sacks. You don't really want that to be him and have Lamar running for his life and all that fun stuff. So, again, this prediction is based on Lamar not playing, and their defense is atrocious. They did just make a trade. Not going to make much of a difference if you ask me. This, add another piece to their secondary. But, yeah, give me the Rams 35. Give me the Baltimore Ravens 17. And you're going to get some garbage time points there towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, a blowout wouldn't shock me. But I think sometimes teams have a propensity to playing down to the level of their competition. And I think that could be a situation here. You're going to find out at minimum if the Ravens even have a pulse. But, yeah, give me the Rams. Give us the Rams. Give everybody the Rams. Arizona Cardinals heading into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And the 4-1 Colts, Idris Salam praised Daniel Jones coming into the year, saying that he was going to turn the corner. Idris has been proven right thus far. I said Daniel Jones could be a comeback player of the year recipient. We'll see, but it's trending at least as a possibility. Mike Zappi picked Jacksonville to win that division. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I think we know what we're talking about in this division, in the South. As the Arizona Cardinals go in this battle of former NFC East coordinators, bad look, boys. Gannon getting into it with his running back in a physical way. When you're the leader of men, even when you're pissed off, you got to do better. Idris, Shed, did either one of you see the video of that from last week in the Arizona game?
I did not. I know Dean McCardo was not happy, though.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
But the second week in a row, though, boys, I mean, not for nothing. When Adonai Mitchell did that for the Colts the week before, you think everybody around the league, and I know it's happened before in the league as well, but you think that anybody that's paying attention or even being a professional athlete at this juncture of their career, and it just happened the week before, you make sure you hold on to that ball until you cross the goal line. It's honestly inexcusable. Now, whether or not Jonathan Gannon was out of line, of course, I'm not defending him. What I am saying is that you got to be better as a player and be mindful of your surrounding. The game's over if he scores that touchdown. You're up by 3 scores in the fourth quarter. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous as a professional athlete to do that. But stranger things have happened, and it's not going to go away. I'm sure it'll happen with somebody else somewhere along the line. Maybe not this year, but sometime in the near future.
Yeah. I don't understand that. Yeah, you score, it's a wrap. You got to be more mindful. As for the game, I'm going with Indiana. I'm going with Indiana Jones, man. He's on the road. They got him playing the offense he's used to playing in. He's comfortable. The team is like, what? I know a few Colts fans, man, and they're like going crazy. He's doing his thing. I watch the games every week, man. He looks good. He looks like the Daniel Jones that first year with Pat Shermer, man. He looks so comfortable, like he's been doing it for years in that system. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Indy again. I'm gonna go. They've been dropping 30 points a game, so I'm gonna drop 31 again. I'm gonna go 31-21. Indianapolis. Indiana Jones. That is.
Yeah, I like what the Colts have been doing. They're playing directly to the strengths of Daniel Jones. They're not asking him to do too much, but he's doing a lot more than he's ever done before. And he's playing his most complete football of his professional career. This looks way better than even the 22 season. In the 22 season, he wasn't that great. He just played within the system and, did enough with a soft schedule. Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, looking a little more resurgent, looking more like the Jonathan Taylor of old. I love their head coach, love their O-line. And defensively, although they're not exactly the most household names on that defensive line nor that secondary, they're a unit that believes in each other, and they get the job done more times than not. I think Arizona is on the wrong side of all of this. Last week is things to come where Jonathan Gannon could actually lose that locker room. And the Colts are on the opposite spectrum of that. Everything is going their way. Give me the Indianapolis Colts 26. Give me the Arizona Cardinals 13. Yeah, give me them 16.
Okay.
16. Colts
do you-
for the dub.
Do you guys hear that?
What's that?
Indiana Jones is coming
Yes, sir.
for you, and he ain't looking back. The Arizona
Yes, sir.
Cardinals have got nothing on this man. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals don't have nothing. He's gonna ride that freaking steed right up,
Right on, right
just like
on.
the Colts, baby.
And he
And
will
I'm
not
gonna-
be tripped by the turf monster.
Yeah. Indiana Jones,
So-
baby.
Indiana Jones is going to take this. I mean, Arizona is just on the wrong side of everything, as Richie said. I mean, Kyler Murray's still not locked in, still not dialed in after all these seasons he's had. I mean, the one fumble last week with Tennessee, the ball hit him right in the helmet, not even looking for the ball when he calls hike. I mean, he's just not there. I mean, James Conner was a leader on that offense, and, he's out. I don't know. Marvin Harrison still has not lived up to his name. I still think that was a mistake by Arizona drafting him instead of Malik Neighbors. I thought Malik Neighbors was the best wide receiver in that draft, but the Marvin Harrison name got him where he's at. They're just not in sync. There's no rhythm. And that Colts team, man, they're just dialing it on all cylinders. I mean, just forget it. I mean, give me the Indianapolis Colts 31. Give me the Arizona Cardinals 20.
Yeah, you know what? You said about Marvin Harrison Jr. I agree with you, Shay. I thought they should have went for Roma Dunze.
Oh, really? Oh, over Neighbors?
No,
I
not
would
over
take
Neighbors.
him
I'm
over
talking about I'm talking over Harrison.
Oh, Harrison was like the second overall pick or third overall pick?
Yeah, but I would took Dunze over Harrison. I just felt Dunze was a better receiver than Harrison. I watched Harrison play, and I'll be honest with you, man, he was good, but he really never did nothing in college to make me say, "Damn, this guy right here."
Mm-hmm.
He just never
Ohio
did
State.
anything. That was it.
Yeah, Ohio State helped.
Yeah, that was it. But I watched Roma Dunze, and I was like, this guy out here in Washington is balling out. So I felt they should have went after him instead of Harrison.
And with the departure of Keenan Allen in that Bears offense, to your point, Odunze has stepped up quite a bit.
Yeah, Dunze's been balling out, man.
Him and Caleb Williams have a nice connection for sure.
Yeah, Caleb, even though I've been hard on him since he was at USC, and I'm still going to be hard on him. But
he's getting better, man.
It's just when you're talking about Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix as your draft classmates, it's going to be tough sledding in terms of comparisons the rest of the way.
He's getting better, though. I got to give it to him because I was hard on him too. He's getting better, man. I like his game. He just has to calm down and not get on himself when something bad goes wrong. Just get dejected so much. But I'm impressed with him.
Well, I think Ben Johnson has a lot to do with it this year as well. I think he's trying to mark up some plays and get him comfortable in that environment, and he's moving him around.
Yeah.
He looks, a little bit more mature than he was the first 2 years. I'll say.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a reasonable take. San Francisco 49ers at the Big Sombrero, as Chris Berman would say, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Big Sombrero.
The Bucs came up big in front of the 12th man to avoid a losing streak. 49ers keep finding ways to win in the early going and have had a huge defensive stand last week in SoFi. Kyron Williams, the Rams, they run the ball well. So Zappy was on the show last time saying he didn't oppose the play call. Niners made a great stop. I'm sorry, a situation like that, I'm still taking the points. As the Bucs go, their most consistent offensive player forever, Mr. Mike Evans, still down and out with that injury. The hamstring is a tricky one, but Emeka Egbuka has just been awesome. Chris
Amazing.
Godwin, opposite of him, still kind of waiting for his traction to get there. Bucky Irving will not be playing, but they still got Rachaad White, and Tampa does have some good depth at some very important positions. It's nice to see former Giant Sterling Shepard contributing still, most importantly, staying healthy. I think this is a candidate for Game of the Week, gentlemen. This is a game that truly can go either way. Shed, what is the story with the quarterback situation in Frisco right now? Is Purdy still going to be missing this week?
Oh yeah, he's definitely out. He's not officially ruled out, but he's not going to play. They're talking about. The question was asked today about him going on IR. That's not going to happen, but he's not ready to play this Sunday. So it's going to be Big Mac in there. And obviously, as you guys know, he's been playing well. So that's fine. I think Jennings is going to be in. I hope Pearsall's going to play. He's probably the most questionable player from last week. Kittle's eligible to come off the IR this week, but he will not. And Malik Mustafa could very well play this week, which is a huge lift for their secondary. So we'll see how that goes.
Right now, the 49ers are ahead of the game. You go in here, you get beat. Even if Jones plays like crap, you're won 80% of your games so far this year, and you've had some makeshift scenarios, adjustments, waiting for guys to come off the PUP list. Niners are in a good place. But having said that, I like the Buccaneers this week. I think Tampa is just in a little bit of a better situation in terms of being the home team here. And I just think it's a big ask. I think it's a big ask for Mac Jones to do it again this week. You know, you already got your signature road victory against the Rams. I think this week Niners run into some trouble. However, if Christian McCaffrey can have one of his just all-world games, anything is possible. But give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29. Give me the San Francisco 49ers 22. Touchdown victory for the guys in Tampa. And I think the 49ers walk away from this feeling good about themselves because they still competed. And to no surprise of my own, Mike Zappi would appear during the 49er game.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, the Niners.
Yeah, I figured there's perfect timing.
Come on, you don't really think that was an accident, do you?
Probably
Hey,
not.
honestly, that was an accident. I had no idea you guys were talking about the Niners-Bucks game.
No, Richie. So Idris is up. Go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Frisco too. I'm not Frisco. My bad.
The Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks. I think Frisco's still hurting, man. I think they pulled off a good win against the Rams last week, but I don't think it'll be the same this week with Tampa. I think Tampa will be on the game. I know they're still missing Mike Evans, but Tampa's tough, man. Baker Mayfield, is a tough guy. He's proven that, hey, I got my second chance. Let me show you what I can do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing in Cleveland. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay 28-21.
If you guys remember, the last few years we've always said what Baker we're going to get, good Baker or bad Baker.
Yeah.
There's no such thing this year. It's all good Baker.
Yeah.
This dude
Oh,
is playing at an MVP level.
He's the MVP
and,
front runner.
and he should be. I mean, he's playing balls out. I mean, this dude is just so good. And the Niners have almost zero pass rush since Bosa went down. They still have the best linebacker in the NFL, but he can only do so much. The Niners are banged up, as we all know, not making excuses. I think Tampa Bay wins this game at home. I just think that, especially going from West Coast to East Coast, the travel, I mean, they did have a little bit extra rest since they played Thursday. Only thing that's benefited in them there is hopefully they can get like a Ricky Pearsall back or Juwan Jennings, But I do like Tampa Bay to win at home. It'll be closer, I think, than what you guys picked, though. I like the Bucs to win 27-24.
All right, Zappy, your thoughts on your favorite team in the NFC West and the guys from Tampa?
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Look, this Niners team, I already said they are one of the, what was the term I used? Their
Worst 4-1 teams of all time or something like that.
Yeah, them and the Eagles. It's been some of the most unimpressive wins by both the Niners and Eagles. And with the Niners, it's not their fault that they're 4-1, but the fact that they're doing it, missing half their roster, it seems like, is impressive. I will give the credit where credit is due to the coaching, because Kyle Shanahan has been coaching phenomenal games against them. But sometimes you need a little luck to roll your way. But who's going to throw the ball this week? Is it going to be Mac or is it going to be Brock? Secondly, who's going to catch the ball? Thirdly, what I'm worried about with this Niner team, CMC, while he is my pick for comeback player of the year, is on pace for 176 targets as a running back. That's not even including all the touches he gets as a running back behind the backfield. The Niners are abusing him a little too much, and I mean, we're talking about a guy that was coming off of a double Achilles injury last year that resulted in him missing the entire year pretty much. And, eventually that stuff's going to catch up.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, when I look at what Tampa Bay is doing, you see the rise of Emeka Egbuka, who has made the absence of Mike Evans great. Egbuka is on the way to being Offensive Rookie of the Year this year. And with this Buck defense, even with missing Kalijah Kancey, they're still getting it done defensively. And I thought them going into Seattle was going to be one of the challenges. But again, Baker Mayfield and that offense has continued to show up. And I look for this to be an exciting game early on. But ultimately, I also have the Bucks winning this game 27-24. I think the Niners are going to get a late touchdown and be in position to stop the Bucks to get the ball back one last time, and it's just going to be a matter of that. But I think ultimately the Bucks will come out on top on this one.
We've all agreed in like every game. This is awful, boys.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
something
sure
that commonly happens around here.
I don't even know what games you guys have covered, so maybe I can disagree with you on one of them because I usually do, and it's usually involves the Jaguars.
Colts, Cardinals. We all pick the Colts. I'll pick the Broncos over the Jets. I'll pick the Eagles over the Giants.
I am putting the Eagles on upset alert.
Ooh.
I like when he does that because this is the time I want him to be right.
And honestly, all my upsets this year have been on point. When I look at Philly, there's a bigger issue going on with this team. We've already talked about it, how it seems a lot like 2023. The Giants right now, Slayton, it looks like he's not going to be out. So when you're talking about your receivers of Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and two guys I don't think I've ever heard of.
Collins and little Jordan Humphrey.
See, I've heard of little Jordan Humphrey just because of his days at Texas. But I thought he was still on the Saints, to be honest with you. So, when I look at this Giants team, they have the formula to upset the Eagles. Last week, I thought they were going to go to New Orleans and lose the game because it was going to be Jackson Dart's first road game. And we saw, the rookies were on full display last weekend in New Orleans with Cam fumbling the ball. And then you look at Jackson Dart throwing some ill-advised throws there during the game. I think the Giants can pull this off. This will be the game that is going to either send Philly on a downward spiral, or they're gonna win this one, another close one. Because right now, offensively, they're not doing it for me. They're not doing it for me whatsoever. Jalen Carter is on the injury report for the Eagles. That to me is a huge loss, especially when you're looking at a Giants team that's probably going to have to run the rock and control the time of position to have a possession to have a chance at winning this ball game.
And Tyrone Tracy was not hit with an injury designation, so he will be eating a little bit into Cam Scatterbo's workload.
And that's good too.
That's a good thing.
Because you look at Tyrone Tracy. He's the veteran leader. As much as crazy it is to say that for a second-year guy, and Cam Scatterbo, it's all about growing and learning. Was it the gloves? Was it not the gloves? Was it the nerves of playing in that stadium? I thought that crowd noise was going to affect the Giants offensively, and it did. But yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles on this one, a low-scoring 20-17 game, but I have the Eagles on upset alert for this one.
We also picked Seattle over Duval, by the way, in case you want to chime in on that one.
Where is that game at? Is that one in Jacksonville or in?
Yeah, that's why I said Duval. Yeah, it's at Jacksonville.
And you all took Seattle?
Yeah, all of us.
I'm pretty sure I sent a message saying it's time for you guys to get on board the Jacksonville train because this team is looking good. Trevor Lawrence, that last drive were two of the best throws that Trevor Lawrence has thrown in his career. And this Jacksonville offense is riding a high. I'm going to disagree with you guys on this one. I think Jacksonville is going to pull this one out at home, 27-24 as well. I like this Jaguars team. And, you know, whenever you get a young team like this that wins a game like that against the dynasty of the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, most teams would have folded the second Patrick Mahomes let them down the field to take the lead. But Jacksonville, again, Trevor Lawrence with that throw. Trevor Lawrence having the body of mind to, when he stumbles twice, to get up and run instead of just laying there. Like, he, to me, has grown a lot over the last couple weeks, but he against the Niners and the Chiefs. But I think Trevor Lawrence is making those strides to finally proving his worth as the number one pick. Not saying he's going to be the second coming, but I think he's not making stupid mistakes. He did make one, but they were able to recover from that against the Chiefs. Like I said, I think the Jaguars are going to win this one. Seattle, you know, they're a damn good team as well, but it's one thing to play at home and it's another thing to play on the road. And so, yeah, I'm taking the Jaguars in that one, boys.
I thought in that Chiefs game, too, I didn't want to hear shit about Jacksonville getting a couple of fortunate bounces because I thought that the Chiefs got away with murder on that first touchdown. That was a pick.
Not only that, you know, and I'm going to go to a certain play, and it was the pass interference no call that should have been called when I think it was Brian Thomas that was running the slant. The safety came over, knocked him down. The ball was that was the ball that was intercepted when Trevor Lawrence threw it. Should have been a pass interference. So
I tend to agree.
One of those, you know, the Chiefs still getting the calls and things like that. But yeah, I think, you know, Duval, man, I think Duval is here to stay for the season. I think, boys, I predicted to be an 11-6, 12-5 team. And I mean, I think after this week, they're going to be a 5-1 team.
Well, I mean, go back to the game, too, against the Chiefs. I mean, when Trevor Lawrence stumbled, I don't know if you guys know how much you watched the replay, but Chris Jones is just standing there. Like,
yeah, and
he had every opportunity to go grab it.
Dude, he just walked to the goal line like it was nothing. Like, whatever.
I
just don't understand. As good as he is, I'm just like, what are you doing?
Really just walked there. Like.
Let me tell you something.
You know?
You first, Idris. You first. I just got this thing burning in my head that I remembered, but you first.
What's up?
No, go first.
Oh, no, that was it. That's all
I interrupted you by accident. I thought out loud. That was my bad.
No, he was good.
Big players make big plays in big moments.
Yeah.
And when you see the phenomenal defense exhibited by Eagles cornerback A.J. Brown, let me tell you something. Stopping Devontae Smith from scoring. I remember when the Jets occasionally put Keyshawn back. That was fine defense by A.J. Brown. Bro, what the hell was that?
That was him trying to punch his ticket out of Philly.
Idris, what was that, bro? What the hell was that?
Selfish play, as usual. A.J. Brown seems to be one of those guys that's a diva and not getting the ball. He's giving me OBJ vibes right now.
Yeah, man. He's even worse than that. He's giving the AB vibes.
I like to get my ball, you know, run the ball. I'm not getting targets. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's too bad. He's very talented. Honestly, in his defense, I think his talent's being wasted in Philly right now. That they are not targeting him. And they are not giving him the ball. He only had the one game and everything. He's getting like 40 yards a game. I mean, this dude was averaging 150 yards last year for like 6 consecutive games plus. And now he's not getting the ball at all. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Idris, myself, we've all commented on the lack of creativity in that offense. You know, Drew Brees was very public about what he thought. But, you know, we've seen coordinators that have left. And it's not easy to replace guys like that and to still put up the same productivity. But I would have to say that it's messy and it's dangerous because the last time that the Eagles had this disgruntled of a wide receiver, to my recollection, was actually Terrell Owens, who went to rival the Dallas Cowboys. But, you know, it's an interesting thing. Zappy, because you showed up We'll cover the Dallas game as the final game of this batch because Brett's going to be on the show tomorrow, so I'm going to leave some games for tomorrow as well. And then I'm doing my favorite segment, Start Bench Cut. But we got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Carolina, not too far from Idris, taking on the 2-3 Carolina Panthers. Zappy, that is 2-2-1, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Whenever a team has a tie, I just forget how to do math.
I'll be in Charlotte.
Oh, okay. I like the fight exhibited by Carolina last week as they overcame a big deficit. Albeit it was against the Miami Dolphins, doesn't matter. A big deficit is a big deficit. Rico Dowdle, good stuff. Gets to play the hero in front of the home crowd. I know when they first signed that guy, Idris here at the show was rather excited about that, thought it was a good thing for the organization. Let's talk about the other guys for a minute. Going into the season, I think a lot of us, myself included, felt like the Dallas Cowboys had one of the least talented running back rooms in the NFL. But I got to say, man, with a resurgent Javonte Williams who's finally healthy, prior to his injury, Miles Sanders was looking decent. Jaden Blue, we don't really know yet what we're going to get from him. Dak Prescott playing at MVP level. They don't have CeeDee Lamb right now. Kevontae Turpin, not too sure if he's going to be suiting up again. It opens up opportunities for others. George Pickens has been playing like a number one when called upon. Ferguson's been doing his thing. I like this Dallas offense right now. I don't necessarily think they're going to be an elite defense or maybe even a good like a very good defense. But if they can play defense somewhere in the middle of the league with their offensive output, they could be the reason why the NFC East, yet again, doesn't have back-to-back winners. It's been forever. 23 years? It's crazy. I think Carolina's going to give them a good game here, but I like Dallas for the road W. I think it's going to be a little higher scoring than some may project. Give me Dallas 34. Give me Carolina 27. Dak Prescott throws 30. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Good enough to win.
I don't think it's going to be that close. I'm surprised at Dallas this year. I'm really surprised. They're playing damn good at defense. But the offense looks like they hadn't missed a step. Javonte Williams balling out. He's picking up with the ground game. Oh, shoot. Damn. I don't see that Carolina defense rattling Dak Prescott. So I'm going to go 35-17. I'm going to go 35-20 Dallas. But at that 20, I don't think it won't be a close 20. I think it'd be like something late, you know.
What you got, Mike?
This one's pretty easy. I mean, I know Rico Dowdle made a comment that it better be ready for the Panthers. You know, they're going to be. It's one of those games that they're going to possibly be playing catch up, and it's going to take the ball out of Rico's hands.
Yeah.
Dallas last week defensively did a phenomenal job. To be honest with you guys, the score didn't do the defense justice because that fourth quarter, Matt Eberflus turned it off. Like they went to
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. What does Rico Dowdle's nephew call him?
I couldn't tell you.
Uncle Rico. Continue.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought it was gonna be something else.
Yeah.
So did I.
So,
Napoleon Dynamite punchline.
That was from that Uncle Rico thing. Me and Zappy were going back and forth the other day having some fun. Continue, sir.
But yeah, when I look at the match.
You're back, Zappy. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so the matchup I'm excited to see is J.C. Horn lining up across from George Pickens.
Oh man,
that's what I'm excited to see this weekend. George Pickens has been having a great year for this Dallas team. You know,
yes.
he's showing that he has a quarterback and he can become a true number one receiver and actually be a pain. And then what this Panthers defense, I want to see how are they going to be able to stop the Cowboys. And what the X factor to me is Ryan Flournoy, who finally had his breakout game, his Miles Austin moment last weekend. And if you're going to give Dak time to throw, I mean, hands down to that offensive line, because we were short 4 offensive line starters last week, and they were out there balling and just running it through them. But I won't take anything away from Carolina. They are a top 12 defense in the NFL.
Yes!
Where
Yes!
something
Yankees.
happened for the Yankees.
Yes.
Cody Bellinger, blast to right. Sorry for screaming on you. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking Dallas to this one to win. I'm going to go a score of 33-20 Carolina. I think it'll be like a 33-10 type of game, and Carolina will get some late scores. But
Yeah.
Bryce Young has not shown me any signs of growth or improvement to
Not at all.
to suggest that he can get in that game and go into a passing duel with Dak Prescott.
You know something zappy about that? This is his 3rd year, and he doesn't look any better.
No,
That was
you know,
Ryan
and it's sad
McMahon,
because
by the way.
last
Sorry for interrupting.
no, in the last 6 weeks last year, he looked like okay, he's finally making that leap.
He found it, yeah. And he's
then
right back to how he was, man.
Maybe that's just how important Adam Thielen was to that offense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're looking
Cleveland
at Xavier
had a second
Legette.
life over there. Yes, indeed.
And yeah, you know, you look at Xavier Legette and Tatario McMillan, however you say his first name. Like, you need that veteran leadership in the locker room. And the second you traded away Adam Thielen, it's like, all right, while they're talented receivers, when the going gets tough, you know, it's like, what are they going to do? And they haven't shown that yet. They were lucky to get, I mean, they got the win against Miami last week. I will give them that, but this is a really bad Miami team.
Yeah, it's Miami.
Yeah, Miami's friggin' awful.
But yeah, no, I think Dallas, you know, I don't think they'll be looking ahead to next week to play in Washington. I think they will show up, be ready to go. I look for Javonte Williams to have himself another big game. And like I said, I think Ryan Flournoy is going to be the X factor for that offense as before, because there's no rush. There's no reason to get CD and Turpin out there before next week. I say sit them, let them be ready to go next week.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. You don't play CD Sunday. But yeah, a lot of what Mike said with this Dallas team. Their defense has been playing a lot better. I don't know what spunk got in their step, but they're actually showing up, which is nice.
We moved away from zone defense.
So you're playing a lot more man. Is that what it was?
Yes, and
Okay.
because Matt Eberflus is one of the how do I want to say, he utilizes blitzes at the least amount ratio of all defensive coordinators in the NFL.
Makes sense.
So when you're doing that and running a zone defense, you're going to have games like the Giants had, like the Bears had, but you know, the players have been calling for man, and that's kind of helped out a lot. And like I said, last week against the Jets, that was on full display. They're playing a lot more man early. They transitioned to zone late when the game was already at hand, and then you see the Jets offense get going those last few drives.
Yeah. But you know, all BS aside, I mean, I do like where Carolina's trajectory is compared. They've been one of the biggest jokes in the NFL for a few years, and I think they're actually on the up and up finally. Bryce Young is playing a little bit
they're
better.
Finally doing things functionally.
And Zappy touched on. I mean, that veteran presence for wide receiver is really huge. I mean, Xavier Legette, and it's just not having the year that everybody thought he was going to have. And then McMillan coming in. I mean, he was supposed to be this big guy and this big target. He hasn't been doing much.
I was never high on him.
Yeah, that was just the, you know, the crowd cheering that they got him, and he's going to be this big target and yada yada yada. But he hasn't proved that yet. I do like Carolina to be competitive in the game. I still like Dallas to win, but give me Dallas to win 30, Carolina 27.
Ooh, a close one.
Close one, but you know, that'll be like a garbage time. You know, the game was already over type of thing, and they just score late or something like that.
Anyone else need to drop a final on this before we head over to start bench cut?
I think we all did.
No.
All right. Originally, it was going to be a two-man start bench cut, but because of the fact that we have a three-man panel, not including myself because I'll be the judge here,
Excuse me.
Biggest surprise of the young season: the ascension of Daniel Jones. The Jaguars tied for first in the South. Saquon not having a 100-yard game 5 weeks in. Being that Idris was the Daniel Jones guy, and being that Zappe was the Jaguar guy, I'm going to swap them. Mike Zappe is going to have to explain why Daniel Jones just breathing that fresher air in Indiana is that dude. That leaves Ryan Shed with Saquon not having his 100-yard game 5 weeks in. Idris Salam, I'm going to start with you, boss. The Jaguars tied for first in the South 5 weeks in.
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
want you to convince me why the Jaguars being the surprise this year. This is how you do it. You boys got to sell me for about 90 seconds on the point I give you. The ascension of Daniel Jones will be Zappe. The Jaguars tied for first in the South will be Idris. Saquon not having a 100-yard game 5 weeks in will be Shed. Idris Salam, you are on the clock.
All right. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been impressed with them. They beat the Chiefs, but I think this. I don't think their schedule's been all that. I think they benefit from an easy schedule. You know, Panthers, the Bengals. You know, but I think they're playing together. Travis Etienne's running the ball. Trevor
Might have lost them.
He's not even on the screen right now.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Damn it.
It happens.
All right.
Forfeit. He forfeits.
He
All right.
forfeits.
Until Idris returns, Ryan Shed, Mike Zappe head to head. All right.
Go ahead, Chef.
Start, bench, or cut the ascension of Daniel Jones. The Jaguars tied for first in the South. Saquon not having a 100-yard game 5 weeks in. Ryan Shed, I am going to start with you. Let's get it.
All right. Well, I'm going to start the ascension of Daniel Jones. I'm going to bench the Jaguars at first in the NFC or AFC South, and I'm going to cut Saquon Barkley not having a 100-yard game in 5 weeks. The reason why I'm going to cut Saquon Barkley not having a 100-yard game is very simple. They have a different offensive coordinator. I don't think that they're all in sync. I do think that it is a big change. And they obviously are being very conservative, and that is obviously Saquon Barkley is part of the reason, or part of the not the reason, but he is a victim of that change, and that's why we're not seeing that. And also, teams are more focused on that, trying to make Jalen Hurts beat them as opposed to Saquon Barkley, because Barkley is a far superior athlete than Jalen Hurts. The Jaguars at 4-1, leading the NFC or AFC South. As much as I listened to the AFC South preview with Zappe picking them, I still wasn't a firm believer in them. But man, with Liam Combs showing up on that team, man, that defense is looking ferocious. They're looking great. I think that it's a great story. I think that they could be very successful. I don't think they'll be 11-6, 12-5. Of course, they will probably prove me wrong, but that's okay. The ascension of Daniel Jones is definitely the highlight of the season. I know a lot of Giants fans hated him or didn't hate him and just wished him the best, and that's the greatest thing you guys can say for the poor kid. It's a great story. I mean, you just don't walk into Indianapolis, and he wasn't even he was battling for the starting job, and look at him. I mean, he is never looking back, and he looks a million miles away from what his experience was in New York. I just think he is just doing a phenomenal job, and he looks confident and poised in the pocket and has everybody on the Indianapolis team believing in him. And I think that goes a long way.
All right. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to cut the ascension of Daniel Jones. The reason why I'm going to cut this one, to me, it doesn't come as a big surprise for a few reasons. One, the Indianapolis Colts have an offensive line, something he never had in New York. Two, the Indianapolis Colts have a good bevy of receivers as well as a great young tight end in Tyler Warren. So now he's got people he can throw the ball to, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, Tyler Warren, like I just said. 3, he's got Jonathan Taylor. That is probably the most balanced offense in the NFL, and it doesn't come really much of a surprise because I think a lot of us thought that Daniel Jones was going to win the starting job there, and if he would have stayed in, if he would have stayed in Minnesota, who knows what he would be doing right now, throwing to Jettis and Jordan Addison and all those guys. So that's why I'm going to cut this one. The ascension doesn't really come as a big surprise to me on this one. I think all of us thought Daniel Jones was going to have a bounce back year. I'm going to cut the Jaguars, tied for first. Reason being, I was really high on the hiring of Liam Coleman. I'm just not really high on him saying Duval. But, I mean, we're talking about an offensive-minded head coach coming from Tampa Bay that his system, it fits that offensive philosophy perfectly with Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas, and company. And, you look at the fact that Etienne was a guy that they were talking about trading, and he's been having a bounce-back year. So that's why I'm going to put I'm going to put the Jaguars as my bench. I think the biggest surprise on this one is Saquon. And I know they have a new OC, but when you have the best offensive line in football and your job is to keep Jalen Hurts from throwing the ball, I mean, Jalen's averaging 115 yards passing a game. So whenever you're doing that, that should tell me that Saquon's averaging 155 yards on the ground. He's not. It almost looks, I don't know if they're preserving him for the second half of the season, and I don't know if there's something wrong with him that we just don't know about.
I'll tell you what's wrong with him. Go ahead.
But this team, I mean, yeah, I've been hitting on it about their offensive coordinator. That losing Kellen Moore is a huge thing, and then we're talking about the year before that they were bad, and then that was after they lost Shane Steichen. Oh, who? Shane Steichen, wasn't he the guy that coaches Daniel Jones now? Another reason why it doesn't surprise me. So, I think when I look at this Eagles team and when we saw what they did in the Super Bowl, even if Kellen Moore is not there, that whole offense is back. And that offense has been stagnant.
Good point.
And when I look at Saquon, a guy who was a number 1 draft pick in most fantasy leagues, or if not top 2 or 3, because it'd be Saquon, Bijan, and Jamar, like, you have that offensive line. They don't have injuries on that O-line. So whenever you have that O-line in 26, you run the damn ball and you run it a lot. And they haven't been able to do it. So to me, that's the biggest surprise this year. Saquon barely even hitting 60 yards is an even bigger surprise. That's my star bench cut.
Both you guys did phenomenal. It really could go either way. The reason I'm giving Shed the slight edge is for one simple reason. I chose the biggest surprise as the ascension of Daniel Jones. And while I do think that, shockingly enough, Saquon has not hit 100 yards, and Zappy hit us with some valuable facts there, we did know that they were losing coordinators, and we did speak on this in the preseason that this could be a thing. So to say I'm mind blown about the slow start with him and the miles, he did go for 2K last year, so I'm not mind blown on that, because in a recent show I even pushed that as a question to you and Idris about the over mileage or potential there of Saquon. You right here even said if something's wrong with him, I give Shed the slight edge. Idris, you got zapped out over there in Carolina. So you're taking on Shed in something interesting here. We're going to keep it team-centric for a second. Biggest bonehead move. Matt Dodge punting to D-Jax. Kyle Williams fumbling twice in the NFC title game. Jim Harbaugh not benching Williams after the first fumble. Start, bench, and cut. Idris Salam, Ryan Shed, head-to-head.
Go ahead, Idris.
Yeah, let's get Idris in there before you.
I'm going to start
into a different world again. That was a little scary.
I'm going to start Kyle Williams.
Like the Matrix.
I'm going to bench Matt Dodge, and I'm going to cut Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to start Kyle Williams. I guess that's the worst thing because you fumbled twice in the NFC title game. That's the big game, other than the Super Bowl. That's the big stage. You got to you got to be on your game, and you fumbled 2 times, and guess what happened? So that's why I'm giving that first. Matt Dodge cutting the D-Jax. I mean, a guy running back and kick is 50-50. We know how dangerous D-Jax is. But
a guy kicking out of bounds is 100 out of 100.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't want to show him that you're scared of him either.
Oh,
And not only that, but it was a tied. It was a tied game. It was a tied game when he punted that ball away.
Yeah. So
I'll
Yeah,
never forget Tom Coughlin literally throwing the clipboard at Matt Dodge. He wanted to assault that man.
I was mad too, but yeah.
Coughlin,
As for
Coughlin never been at home.
Jim Harbaugh benching Williams after the first fumble, I wouldn't bench anyone after one fumble, unless they got a history of it anyway.
Correct.
Because,
I agree with Idris on that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to bench someone with one fumble. That's why I put Kyle Williams over that, because he did it twice in the NFC title game.
And it wasn't, and I'm going to add to it. It's not that it was just a fumble. It was a fumble on your home field.
On your home field.
If it was a fumble in New York, that would probably raise the question. Maybe we should bench him. The crowd noise is too much, but it was at home.
It was at home.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That is a good point.
Say he's at home. Big difference.
Shed, you are up. Most boneheaded of these three wacky events.
Oh, drafted Jake Brown too. You should have had that up there.
Eli Apple, is that on there? Is that?
Oh yeah. Russell's got a gas.
Don't let Brett come get you, man.
So let's just get Eli Apple, and it'll all be okay.
You're gonna have Brett on your hands, man.
So I'm gonna start Kyle Williams fumbling twice in the NFC title game. I mean, the Niners had the better team. I think we all know that. And the first one gets out of the way. They replayed the freaking thing for like 20 minutes before they finally decided it was a fumble. I mean, you can see it at his freaking calf. Yeah. That was heartbreaking and gut wrenching for myself. So that one really sticks. I'm going to bench Matt Dodge punting to Djax. Let's be honest. I mean, even back then, you don't ever really see very many punt or kick returns for touchdowns. More commonplace then than they are now.
For sure.
But still, I mean, you got to have a little bit of faith in your special teams there. Obviously, Deshaun Jackson, especially at that time in his prime, was a freaking animal. And at the very least, freaking skid kick it or kick it out of bounds. Don't let him get the damn ball. Mike touched on it that it was a tie game too. And then Jim Harbaugh.
That fumble did throw the defensive players and their run lanes off. And
that's why it qualifies to be in that same breath with the Herman Edwards Joe Pisarcik situation.
Oh, Joe Pisarcik! Stop talking about Joe Pisarcik. That's when I started watching the Giants. We went 2-12.
Oh, it's part of our history. As much as I want to punch my own self in the face.
Yeah, then I'm gonna I'll bench the Jim Harbaugh, not benching Williams. You don't bench a guy after the first fumble. I mean, Kyle Williams was a great returner the entire year. He was actually their third or fourth wide receiver at the time. Let's be honest. If you had to bet $1 million on it, you think you would have fumbled twice? I mean,
no,
come on.
Right?
It was very unfortunate. Again, it is what it is. But he was a very solid returner the entire season, and he just happened to fumble twice in the same game, and the Giants won the game.
Yeah,
if you're the coach, you don't bench him. I mean, you're going to ruin the kid. I mean, he didn't play in the NFL after that anyway, guys.
I was pulling for Captain Comeback on that Hail Mary in Pittsburgh '95 season. I wanted to see the Colts and the Cowboys kind of revisit an old history. Instead, we got more old history. It was Cowboys Steelers. I was rooting for Captain Comeback that day. So it kind of makes me proud to know that I supported him that day. And then years later, he supported me.
I'm going to drop two things on you guys here real quick. I don't know if you guys know, but not to talk about the Commanders game. I don't know if you're going to talk about it then, but here's an interesting stat about Zach Ertz. This past weekend's game was his first game since November 27th, 2014, without a catch in a game.
11 years. Holy guacamole.
Yeah, so credit to Zach Ertz with longevity and all. But yeah, so I did not know that. I just saw that right now. And secondly, the Bill Belichick experiment looks to be coming to an end as him and North Carolina are discussing a buyout right now, and that is going to be contingent on whether it's going to be contingent on him getting a position or getting a position in media. But yeah, it looks like his time in Carolina is going to be coming to an end already.
I want to
Yeah,
ask you, Zappy.
Wow. They're playing at Syracuse on Halloween, and now there's going to be no Belichick in Syracuse. No kidding.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because it's an attraction.
Coach. It's a
Hell
much
no,
different
you know,
game.
college coach.
I think he's got to call him back in the NFL, and honestly, it might be back in New York.
Yeah, and
Funny
that's a
as
good
it
point, Mike.
sounds, it's
But
the only place I think that would take him back.
Mike is perfect on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the college game's completely different. You have no time to groom players. You have no time to coach them. They're very young. The guys are leaving in the transfer portal after 1 year. I mean, Belichick's very well known for, being very strict and molding his guys into his culture. You can't do that in college.
We allowed Vrabes
they all
and Sean Payton to go elsewhere when we had opportunities.
So, I mean, to agree with Mike yet again, I mean, yeah, he's more of an NFL coach, and I think that he does find a home at some point somewhere. But yeah, I don't think college was meant for him.
Under one condition, though, Belichick has got to bring back that 80s
Bring back what?
Giants jacket. If he ever roamed
Carried
the
off the
sidelines
field?
for the New York Giants again,
Oh,
he's
I
got to
like-
rock the jacket.
yeah. Yeah.
Man, shouts out Stephen Baker. Met him at that tailgate back in 15. He was rocking that jacket. When
Word.
Brett and I saw that beautiful Super Bowl 25 ring. And
Touchdown, Stephen Baker.
yeah, man, the touchdown maker, definitely a huge contributor. Gentlemen, this was a good show. My nerves are like up on here somewhere. This Yankee game has me very concerned.
It's 1-1.
They just got lucky to get out of that last inning.
Yeah. It's
I will be
tied.
bringing you guys a reaction video. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. If the Yankees win, I go live tonight. If the Yankees lose, I'll probably go in a dark corner and talk about it in the morning.
I know
Just
I
going
won't
to
be
be
watching.
honest. There's no reason to lie to you guys.
Cubs
Come
are
on, man.
3 outs away from taking Game 3.
Hell yeah.
It is 4-3 right now in the top of the ninth.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Game
my.
5 going versus Seattle and Detroit as
That
well.
was actually my prediction, Zappy. Cubs 4, Brewers 3. I shit you not.
I believe it.
Great job, gentlemen. I enjoyed the start bench cut thing, and unfortunately, when Idris came back in, it actually opened up the door for a new idea for the start bench cut, which actually made it better. So that was like
Let's
good,
go,
internet.
Brewers. Yes, sir.
unbelievable. For Ryan Shed, for Mike Zappi, for Idris Salam, I am your host, Richie Hicks. If you haven't already, please make it a point, like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. Make it a point to check out the V-Mix, the Vicious Mix with this guy, Idris Salam, on live365.com. Children, send Carson Wentz some letters of encouragement as he is on the shelf right now. J.J. McCarthy gearing up to take back his place. Zappy, great job. And I got to say one thing. Jerry had me laughing my ass with that middle finger sitch because
Oh, he's such. I don't even want to say what I'm going to say. Come on, own it. You flipped him off. It was all in good fun.
he's at an
Own
age
it.
where he doesn't have to claim to have a memory. I'd go with that shit too.
Yeah, I'm like,
How do you think men in their 70s get away with that shit they do? They claim that they don't remember anything.
yeah, he's definitely going to see now.
That's a friggin' Lulu. Like if watching that shitty Jet product isn't enough of an insult. He's like Brittany Mahomes, hold my beer. Only Jerry.
Oh, Mike, while you're here, I mean, I could use an apology for claiming that Cooper Rush was better than me, but you can hold it for another time. It's fine.
Look at here, Carson. You had the benefit of being overseas 2 weeks in a row, so your body had already acclimated to the 8-hour time change.
It was it was all because of my body time change. It had nothing to do with Cooper Rush and all
So
that.
check it. You were
Got it.
overseas.
No, I'm gonna. Hey,
Due to that, you were overlooked.
no, I want to keep the pressure on you, man. I had the Vikings as a team that's going to make the NFC title game, so I love to see you get them there. And if you do, I might even put you in the same conversation as Jason Garrett.
Ooh. I'm honored.
Jason Garrett, I must say, was a premier Thanksgiving performer. I got to give him that one. He had that big game against the Green Bay Packers back in the day. And the Yankees.
That was a
did
huge
double
game.
play. Jazz, it's okay to actually run it through. It's okay to do that, pal. I know you're a power hitter and all.
Yeah, Willie Mays Hayes.
Oh, dear
Hey.
God, what would Lou Brown say?
You've got to give Jazz a pass because if it wasn't for him, Yankees are not beating the Red Sox. With him making that incredible stop at second base that
I
prevented a
tend
runner
to
from
agree.
scoring,
I give you that.
and then him having that big blast yesterday, I think he can get a pass on that one.
Yeah, but bro, Jazz is a fast dude. That was a slow break out of the batter's box. Where
He shouldn't have gotten two on that.
That was yeah.
Maybe he was honoring Stanton.
That's the thing with Stanton. Stanton's like, I can take all my time because I'll take my time, and that thing still hasn't landed. But until next time, he's Shed, he's Idris, he's Zappy. Have a great night, everyone. We out.